are strong in your areas of weakness, especially in a workplace. People are gifted differently. We need people's strategy, because gone are the days where people just show up to work, do the work, then go home. Right now, we are seeing more and more of people hiring attitude rather than the skills, or rather hiring people with a specific personality type, rather than looking at the CV and seeing what that particular person has achieved. Also, I think we are also moving to, there's a shift towards people pursuing their passions and not just doing what they studied in school. While education is important, it gives you exposure and opens doors. It is good to establish your personality type. It is good to explore your self-identity. So, fun fact. Did you know that people decide whether or not they like a product in 90 seconds or less? 90 seconds. And that 90% of the decision that people make is based solely on color. So, a question to you, our listeners today. Do you buy clothes, for example, because of their color? Do you? Ask yourself. And even tell us an answer on the chat. Give us an answer. Do you think colors influence your purchasing power, or rather your purchasing of products? Do you think it does? Because I have a friend who really, really, really loves yellow. She comes from that, that place, that where people love yellow, right? So recently, she told me that I am not buying any other yellow thing. I won't. I have a lot of yellow clothes. I have a lot of yellow stuff. I am not buying anything yellow going forward. A few weeks, or rather a few days, I think, there they were with another yellow product, with another yellow dress. Yellow attracts them. Their best color, maybe their most preferred color is yellow. So do you think color influences your choice, your consumer behavior? And we are going to also ask ourselves a lot of different questions. Does the color of food affect your meal choices? I remember a scenario where, I have always been curious in my life, and I've always asked questions, and I have always encouraged people to try new things. So this particular day, and I hope my mom is not listening to this, she left us, my sister and I, she left us in the house, and then we decided we are going to cook rice. And rather than just having the normal white rice, then why shouldn't we spice things up and, try new things? So there we were with green food color. I know. So we added the food color to the rice as it was boiling. So the rice turned green. As it was cooking, it was, we were just looking at it and wondering, okay, let's wait and see what the end product is. But I think we have made a mistake. But when the rice was ready to eat, we just served us a few spoonfuls and tasted it. It was just rice, actually. It didn't have even like a different taste of rice. It was not a different taste. It was just that it was green. I can tell you this. We didn't eat it, and we were very hungry. We just disposed it off. And because we couldn't dispose it in our kitchen dustbin, we packed it in a bag and then got out of the gate and walked some distance so that we can dispose it, because Coming from an African family, you know how that would go down. So do you think you eat food because of its color? I mean, picture a scenario where meat was black. Unbelievable, right? Picture maybe purple vegetables. Yeah. Yani, just picture different colors of food and ask yourself, would you dare eat it? We didn't eat the rice because it was green. It didn't have any different taste. It was just that it was green, so it didn't appeal to our senses. So as we go ahead and ask the questions, I will ask another question. What color can the human eye see first? Or rather, which is the color that is perceived first in the human eye, in the human brain? Fun fact here. What do you think is the fastest color to register in your brain? I don't know, not your color preference, maybe. Maybe someone will say, hey, my best color. I always pick my best color first. But research has shown that it is green and yellow. And on that note, why do you think school buses are painted yellow and not red? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why yellow? And not only in Kenya, all over the world, but school buses are painted yellow. It is because yellow is one of those colors that is perceived in the human brain fastest. Therefore, you can easily spot a bus on the road. So, what do you think is the ugliest color? Do you think there is an ugly color? And not because you're biased, or rather you don't like a particular color. It definitely translates to be the ugliest color. So what do you think is the ugliest color? Surprisingly, the ugliest color is dark brown. Maybe because it's associated with excretion, maybe, I don't know. But research has shown that. So what do you think is the color that attracts money? Did you know that there's a color that attracts money? Yeah? Or rather shows money? So the color that attracts money is gold, because gold is associated with attractiveness, fame, and wealth. Speaking about contemporary issues, why do you think the LGBTQIA community identify with the rainbow colors, with the rainbow flag? Why do you think that is? It is because it has different colors, definitely showing diversity. So, do you think there's an annoying color? Violet. You know, those colors you can't really establish. It is in between this and this. Okay, so the important terms we will be looking at, or rather terms we will be using, are, one is personality. Personality, we are defining it as quality or state of being a person, a set of behavioral and emotional characteristics that define a person and are influenced by one's environment and biology? Do you think the society, or rather, do you think your upbringing influences your personality type? Yes, it does. Because most of us are a product of our environment, the environment we grew up in, the environment surrounding us at this particular moment. The next term we'll be looking at is color. Color is the visual appearance of objects based on the characteristic of light on them, measured using hue, saturation, and brightness. The next term is color preference, which means the affinity to certain colors more than others. And this is where I will hear talks of, this is my favorite color, I prefer this color to this color, because you are more inclined. Maybe you associate a specific color with, like black is associated with sadness, death, mourning, loss. But on the other hand, it also exhibits power, boldness. Red, for example, you'll hear people say red is blood, red is danger. But on the other side, we see red as love, an expression of romance, and maybe many other colors. So, looking at personality types, personality is influenced and determined through a multifaceted interaction of factors. It determines behavior, which is important in a workplace team setup. And the common personality traits you'll hear are introversion, extroversion, being an ambivert. Some are friendly, conscientious, honesty, and helpfulness. So, which takes us back to the question, do you know your color? Do you know your best color? And why do you think you associate with that particular color? Do you have a reason for it? For example, a friend told me their best color is white. I went ahead and asked them, why white? Because white is associated with peace, with purity. Then I went ahead and asked them, do you think you preferring white tells your personality color? They didn't know that preferring a particular color could be a reflection of who they are, and why, and who they are translates to why they identify with a particular color. So personality types, why do we need to understand, or rather, why do we need to explore this? In a workplace setup, looking at the future workplace, for example, places like Google, they are encouraging their employees to redesign their workstations, paint their workstations according to the color they most prefer. Why is this? Because it has shown that how I respond to a particular color, meaning immediately I look at a color, there is a specific signal sent to my brain. For example, someone will say, yellow is too bright, I prefer dark colors. And research has shown most people who like to keep to themselves identify more with dark colors, the blacks, browns, and grays. And those people who are cheaper and all bright and engaging, those people who have a sunny attitude, if I may, will most probably identify with colors like yellow and red, all the bright colors. So at this point in time, do you think that color preferences, there's a relationship between your color preference and your personality type? There are personality profiling tests that you could engage in, like that they are actually found online. There is the 16 personality test by Myers and Briggs. There is the Kayase temperament sorter, and disc type personality types and profiles. These are personality profiling tests that you could use, that you could fill in, that you could just Google and fill in, that could reveal your personality type. most of these shed more light into how you relate with other people and to how and why you are the way you are. Most times, most of these things are in the subconscious. For example, color preferences, we would think it is a subconscious act. Actually, it is a subconscious because it is the way your brain perceives different types of colors. And the way your brain perceives different types of colors could mean it is based on your personality. So as we go ahead and explore this relationship, I would urge you to go ahead and look up these personality profiling tests, fill them in. They take 10 to 20 minutes, and they shed light into your relationships, to the way you think, to the type of people out there who are like you, especially the celebrities. And you could get to understand more about your strengths, more about your weaknesses, and how you can leverage your strengths to work towards your goals, to work towards achieving your vision and your purpose in life. So, do you think it's important to understand personality types? I think at this juncture, it is very important because it helps explain people's preferences and their differences. It helps you to know your personal limits. Helps you improve personal and interpersonal skills. Helps make better and more conscious team decisions. Meaning, the way it will make you be aware, like we said, self-awareness. So you being aware of yourself, you being aware of how you react to different relationships, or rather how you act in different scenarios, will help you become aware of how that is affecting your relationships, or rather how that is actually affecting your work productivity. Personality types helps you hire the right skills. Because, I mean, in a CV, it doesn't tell you about a person's attitude. It just tells you they have been to this school, they have been to this work, this is the way they work, this is the way they have, this is what they have achieved and to this point. These are their skills. But there is more talk about emotional intelligence. And a human being is not only defined by the academic or rather professional achievements. It is part of what, or rather who they are, but it does not define them holistically. There is the spiritual bit, there is the emotional bit of it, there is the psychological bit of it, spiritual, mental. To move forward. So it also helps create effective appraisal strategies, also management strategies, because it saves you a lot of problem solving. Sometimes you find that you're solving problems that is not you find a problem and that is not the problem you need to solve. Maybe the problem you need to solve is your people's strategy. Maybe the problem is not the way you're doing things in your company, but the problem might be you don't understand your people. And your people don't also understand themselves. Because if your employees understand who they are, why they do certain things differently from others, you're able to manage people better, because people, or rather these people, will strive to work on where they excel at. So, this relationship, we're looking at, there are particular color code personality tests, such as the True Colors personality test and the Hartman color code personality test. The True Colors personality test summarizes all personality types into 4 color codes, namely gold, blue, orange, and green, which are assigned numerical values. This test, the True Colors personality test, has 26 questions denoted from letter A to T, which are answered by giving a numeric value of 1 to 4. And then you weigh the results after all the questions are answered, and it reveals your personality type based on the overall score and its corresponding color. As we look at people's strategy, we feel the need to explore this relationship. We feel the need to leverage on this to help people understand their personality. And we are looking at, is there a relationship between color and personality? And how can we use color to establish one's personality? Can we use color to establish one's personality type? And ultimately, after knowing one's personality type, how can we use this to achieve self-awareness? Relationship and your personality type. And then we will either agree that there truly is a relationship or there isn't a relationship between the two. And then share the report findings with our participants and our friends as we work towards achieving people management, as we work towards achieving good people strategies in our organizations, as we help you as an individual establish your self-awareness, as we help you also self-actualize yourself, meaning after you have identified your personality type, we can work with you, we shall work with you to know how can you leverage your strengths, your weaknesses,